Lauren, you know, in the science of vaccines, there's lots of failure along the way. Give us your timeline. I don't mean the punditry. I don't mean all the non-pros. When do you expect that we can sort through the failures to come to a success on vaccine?
I think we're going to see a success in vaccines sometime next year. I am not as optimistic as some of the other people who are talking about a vaccine, by the election or by the end of this year. I think we're seeing some really good data out of these vaccine candidates. There's 9 in phase 3 right now. But I think we do have some time where we're going to have to wade through some of these data and better understand how well the vaccines are working and what the priority is for manufacturing.
Are we going too fast, Lauren, in trying to find this vaccine? Or, there will be hiccups, but actually it will be safe when it's out?
I think there's elements that are moving a little fast for my liking personally, but I think the news over the weekend of the vaccine makers led by Pfizer and Moderna and ASTRAZENECA to pledge safety over speed was a really important step. It's a little bit of a worrying step, I think, because the fact that they felt that they needed to say that where we're prioritizing safety means perhaps that they were being pushed to speed up the timeline. Everybody wants a vaccine. A vaccine is an incredibly important tool in our toolkit, but we need to prioritize safety. So I think seeing that step by the vaccine makers was really important.
Lauren, what does it mean in terms of what they're worried about? Is the worry that we have a vaccine that's not safe, or is the worry that we have a vaccine that's safe but that nobody actually wants to be injected with?
Yeah, I think it's some combination of the two. I mean, I think these phase 1 trials, they start with safety. So we understand the safety profile before we even start to understand the efficacy of the vaccines. But here in the U.S., for example, we have a vaccine hesitancy problem. So it's not just rolling out a vaccine that's safe based on clinical data. It's also really important to understand what will stop people from taking it? What will encourage people to take it? What are the safety and efficacy data that people, the public, want to see in order to ensure that they will go and get that vaccine? Because if we create a perfect vaccine but no one wants to take it, it doesn't matter.
I mean, because of this unexplained illness, which paused AstraZeneca to stop the trial for now, to suspend the trial, does it mean that it will also be much more difficult to get people, healthy individuals, to try out future vaccines for COVID-19?
I think that people should actually be happy to see that this is happening. Normally, I think that this wouldn't make national news, but because this is such a national and international priority, this is a standard process in both vaccine and therapeutic creation and production. We stop trials when we see something concerning or unexplainable, something that doesn't align with the data we saw in phase 1 and 2. And so this is AstraZeneca doing their due diligence, looking at this adverse event, looking at what happened to this person who had an unexplained illness, going back through their data to see if perhaps they saw it elsewhere.